What's up, YouTube? Freight Hero here. This is my second attempt at recording this because I apparently had my mic on mute, so rip me. So as you guys can see, I'm playing my Vanquisher deck versus Liberators. I was scared for my life because I didn't have a grade 1 and I was afraid to G-assist, and I still rode into a really bad target. Only run 2 Rising Phoenixes, and I end up seeing both of them right next to each other, awkwardly. But yeah. So as you guys can see, I'm running the 12K base. I did see that in Japan, and I kind of forgot about it for a while that it even existed. But I definitely can understand why you'd run it because being a 12K base is not bad at all for defensive guards, since 16s are still very popular columns right now. Since there's very few 12K attackers running around, and at the same time, it is just you don't have a lot of great options to run alongside Vanquisher as backup threes. I'm also running the gravity bolts because we don't have Detonic Drill Dragons. I definitely would run those, but it's just we don't have them in English yet confirmed, so I'm just going with what we got. And this is where it gets a little unfortunate for Fallen Winter. I'm playing against him. That's why we don't have any game chat going on really. We're just talking on Skype. But yeah, it's really unfortunate he didn't have the perfect guard because he's just gonna have tears watching all my skills pretty much go off. So this is basically the best case scenario for the Vanquisher deck. This was like my first game with it, and it just worked out perfectly. It's kind of funny. But as you can see, I used the Glimmer Breath clone, and I did mess up that turn. I probably should have attacked with Shatura first, at least, to get a guaranteed 5k shield, unless he wanted me to draw a card and bind something, which, as a Legion deck, he really wouldn't want to happen. But I really thought he'd perfect guard my Vanguard because he was a Legion deck, so if at all possible, it would make sense for him to try to guard it, but it caught me by surprise by not even managing to guard that, and he got a damage trigger and made my 2 lanes completely useless. It's not so bad though, since as you can see I just have overwhelming advantage because of the retiring of his units and me getting pluses off of it. And this is where I get the best possible combo with the Dragoons and Voltage. And it just gets pretty nutty here because I can trigger so many binds, and it just will progressively get better as the next turn progresses too, while he loses his drop zone to even Legion. So I'm really not sure why he didn't even Legion the turn prior. I mean, sorry, not Legion, but Stride. But I guess he was keeping his threes to go for like a glare play because, he'd guarantee be able to use glare skill. But I think it's too far gone for that, and that he probably should have rode glare first and strode immediately when he had the chance to at least get some card advantage, especially since he had a lack of guard because he kept the threes in his hand like that. And then he gets punished even harder again because I got to hit. And I also did manage to hit 2 of his perfect guards to damage zone this game, which is really unfortunate for him. In case you guys didn't know what was completely going on here, I'll show you guys some of the key cards that are going off here. Like, well, Voltage, I guess, is the Amber clone, which retire bind something. And then you have the Dragoon that chains with it, literally. Uh, Basically, if I have a Vanquisher grade 3 or higher, I can um, bind an extra card from the drop zone if one of their rear guards is put into the drop zone due to the effect of one of my cards. And then if they do bind a card, I can choose a unit and it gets +2. And it's a once return and it will trigger both of them if I have both of them on the field. So it just got an extra 2 binds with the 1 bind from Voltage already, and then there's this Voltage who basically gets +3 for every card in the bind zone. So this is where you can see me struggling to build numbers too, as well as binding his cards. And it is a continuous, so if cards keep getting bound, even at any point in your turn, your power will go up for each of your units. He couldn't guard the attack, so he was just showing me that, like, yeah, I'm pretty screwed. So I ended up hitting a double crit and a draw into a perfect guard to add salt in the wounds. And that was basically the entire game. Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys next time.